All right, guys, welcome back to the walkthrough. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope you are doing fantastic. So we have a lot to cover this episode. We're going to have some fun, and it's going to take however long it takes. The goal is to get basically all the way through the rest of Limgrave. There's going to be a couple things left out there that we're going to get to later on in the game, but, you know, for now, to be done with this place. And then we're going to head south to the Weeping Peninsula in the next episode. So however long it takes is however long it takes. There's one thing that I forgot to cover last time when we first got to Roundtable Hold, and that is inside of Fia's chambers there is a mirror, and you can use this to change your appearance. So you can't change your origin or your starting class, but you can change basically everything about your appearance if you want. So just wanted to point that out in case any of you are interested in doing such things. But for starters, we have a dragon here that we're going to kill. He spawns right here, but you want to keep your distance. You don't want to go straight here because he, like, flies in. And if he hits you when he flies in, he will kill you in one hit. So there's a couple ways of going about fighting the dragon. You can fight him on horseback, mounted, or you can fight him on the ground. I tend to prefer fighting him on the ground, but you can fight him. However, I will show you kind of both styles of doing so. The one downside of fighting him on the horse is that you can't use your Bloodhound's finesse. The upside is that, you know, you're a bit more maneuverable. The main thing is if you get knocked off your horse, you will be susceptible to critical damage. And the dragon will, if he knocks you off, there he comes. He knocks you off with fire. Poor guys. If he knocks you off with fire, then you're basically dead. Because that fire is going to hit you and do critical damage. So we're going to go in, just start wailing on his legs. The main thing is to watch, if you're hitting his legs, is to watch he has that quick turnaround attack. And then he blows fire. He has like 3 different fire attacks. His head's going to take a little bit more damage than the rest of his body, but of course the head is a bit trickier to hit. So you want to watch out for his stomps. Hitting his wings does about as much damage as hitting him in the legs, so that is a viable way of going about it as well. So this is horseback combat. So I want him to fly up and do his fire attack. So he has a few fire attacks. He has this one where he's just going to spit straight out. So you can keep your distance. If you're feeling brave, you could also potentially charge in and get a couple hits on his head. He has one where he flies up and he just spits fire at the ground, and the way to dodge that is to run backwards away from him. You don't want to get hit by his fire. His fire is lethal. I'm trying to here he's doing his he's doing his kind of flying fire attack. That's his 3rd fire attack. And you saw there's like a little crease in the fire. You want to run like away from that crease, away from where the fire is blowing, and you should be able to avoid it. So here he's doing his just straight fire breath attack. I'm trying to get him to do the one where he flies upwards. This might be it right here. No, this is his like charge at you attack. Take a couple whacks. Nope, missed all of them. That's great. So you see that your horse has a life bar too. If the horse's life bar is depleted completely, so see how there's kind of like he's blowing it at an angle. You want to run like into the opposite the direction that he's blowing the fire. But anyways, so your horse has a health bar too. If the horse's health bar goes all the way down, he will die. You can revive him by using a Crimson Tears flask though. And you can also get knocked off your horse. Even if he doesn't do enough damage to kill you, you can still just get staggered off your horse. I'm trying to get him to do his... I'm trying to get him to do his kind of jump attack fire move to show you how to avoid it. Really, I feel like he typically only does that if you're right underneath him. So as I said, if you're close to him when he does like his other fire breath attack, you can sort of punish it. I'm trying to bait him into doing, let's see, just stomping on me. Come on, do it. I'm trying to teach people here. Do it. There we go. He's doing it right now. So for this attack, you want to just run away. So I'm gonna take the rest of the fight on foot because I prefer it on foot anyways. I'm gonna do some Bloodhound's Finesse just because it's super duper powerful. There's his tail swipe. If you get too far behind him, he's gonna try to tail swipe you, but you can dodge right through it. My advice is to try not to get directly behind him, just to keep that from being a threat to begin with. Those stomp attacks are, you know, they're powerful. They'll take away about half your health at this point. Oh, there's his tail swipe. His tail swipe is lethal. I've got one Flask left. He's going to do his kind of angled fire attack there. So dodging it on foot is very similar to dodging it on horseback. And he's got one hit left, which means he's probably going to kill me because them's the rules. Okay, well, there we go. I'll take the kill. A little sloppier than I would have liked, but I was really trying to demonstrate those moves to you. For our trouble, we get a Dragon Heart. So, new Draconic powers available at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. We're going to get to that in just a little bit here. But for now, there's actually a cave that we want to head to that we have not been to yet. And it is right over here on the map. You see it, that little marker there. That's where we're headed. So, for starters, we got an elevator. In these tunnel levels, whenever you see an elevator, just know that there's usually, I'm going to get the Grace site first, a drop-off point that takes you to kind of like a little secret little nook that you might be able to find an item that is worthwhile. So we're going to take the elevator back on up, look for that drop-off point. And usually, but not always, there's going to be something like that. So we'll see right in front of us. See that? We're going to jump on down, and that's a secret little item we can pick up. You would have missed had you not been looking out for it. That's a golden rune tier 4, so that ain't nothing to scoff at. So pretty good item for us to get. So make sure you don't miss that. And then to get back down to the bottom, you just kind of hop on down these ledges, do a little bit of platforming. Let's see here. So we got a bunch of runes for killing that dragon. So I'm going to level up. Oops. There we go. Level up. So at this point, my goal is pretty much going to, since we have the stats to use our Bloodhound Fang, my goal is to get our Vigor and Endurance up to 20. Give us a little bit of extra FP, a little bit of extra stamina. So I think this is our first tunnels level that we've done so far. So we got these guys. They're mining. Essentially what they're mining are like the upgrade materials. So whenever you're in one of these types of levels or dungeons, whatever you want to call them, you're typically going to find a bunch of smithing stones. These guys do have pretty solid defense, and they do hit hard with their pickaxes, so just be aware of that. These guys that have the backpack, you can actually hit the backpack with your torch, and it'll set it on fire. Blow it up. Oh, I didn't get it that time. But I'm going to try to demonstrate that with a different one. Got some rats down here. Oh, come on. Some more smithing stones. Oh, hey. Hey there, buddy. Oh, gosh. I might be... I'm tempting fate here. So here's a guy with a backpack. I'm going to hit him with my torch from the back. Watch what happens. Oh, it didn't do it. Dang it. Oh, well. Hit him just right, that backpack will explode and it'll kill him. Okay. So here we have another elevator. In this case, the drop-off point on this elevator is actually the progression route. So we're actually going to ride this one all the way down. We're going to go down here and get all the items. Glintstone scrap. So what that is it's a magic item you can use. You don't need magic to use it, but it does consume FP. Here we go. I was going to try it. Oh, no. It's not working out for me. I don't know why. It's all good, though. So it consumes FP, but it's basically like a magic projectile type of item. So we're going to ride this elevator on up. And this drop-off point is actually the way forward through the dungeon. So don't miss it. It's on the other side, isn't it? Here we go. Just gonna have a look down here to make sure that none of those platforms on the way down have any items. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm gonna try to get this guy. There we go. Got the explosion. The explosion. There was some collateral damage too. So if you have a torch, you can attack with your torch and get that explosion if you hit him in exactly the right spot. Some more glintstone scraps. This guy can he shoots projectile fire with his fancy lantern that he's got there. He's throwing fire bombs at me. This is overall bad situation, but we'll be all right. See if I can light you on fire. There we go. Beautiful. Got some explosive stone clumps and another guy with a backpack. There we go. Okay. Were there some materials I could acquire? Yes. Smithing stone tier 1. So this one has a drop-off point as well. It's like right when it starts to go down. I think it's on this side. Nope, it's on the other side. It's like right at the very start. Yep. Well, I missed the spot. Oh well. But there is a spot up there. There's actually on that top ledge, there's no item. The item that we want is actually down here. So the fact that we missed the top spot doesn't matter. We got a golden rune, tier 1, and then got a somber smithing stone. And now it's boss time, ladies and gentlemen. And we have ourselves a Stone Digger Troll. Same deal, aim for the legs. I'm going to do my special, my Bloodhound's Finesse, do the follow-up attack, and look at the crazy damage this thing does. It's wonderful. His attacks are super slow, but they do have an AoE, so just be careful. Got the stagger, Bloodhound's Finesse for the win, and we're done here. Get the Roar Medallion for our trouble. And I don't think there's anything else down here, so we're going to warp on out. Okay, so where we're headed next is, if you recall when we beat the dragon, we got a dragon heart, and it said something along the lines of you can use it at the cave of, or something of Dragon Communion. So, that area, to access that, we're going to go down here. Which is a spot we have yet to explore. I'm going to advance the time of day to morning. And we are going to head right over here. So there's a thing up here that we're going to want to... I'm going to put this marker right here. That's around where the thing that we want to get is. And then there's like a merchant down here, and our cave is down here. And then there's something all the way over here, too. So we're going to kind of sweep that coastline. But first we got to find the way down there, which there's some cliffs you got to sort of navigate. Because you can't just jump off, otherwise you'll... The fall is too high to survive, so we got another troll down here. You know what to do about them if you want to fight them. I don't particularly care for fighting him right now, so... As I said, we got lots to do today. Oh, come on. So we have... This is essentially a trickier version of the scarabs. You see he's invisible, but he follows this track. They follow the same track every time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to camp out right here, wait for him to come back. I'm going to take the... I'm going to equip the Uchi Katana because it's a slightly faster weapon, and I'll get maybe more slices. So I want to stand in this spot, wait for him to come back around, and hopefully... Nope, I was too late. So if you stand in his track, he's gonna come around and around and around until you finally get him. You can try chasing him on horseback, but he moves faster than you can move on horseback, so that's not a good way to catch up to him. All right, 1, 2, 3, go! Ow. And there's a few of these in the game, unfortunately, and they're all just as annoying to get. It kind of takes a bit of, you can call it timing or reflexes, but you want your weapon to swipe shortly after you hit the button. Okay. We're going to get him this time. Oh my gosh. These things are not my favorite. There we go. All right. Ash of War. Good riddance. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to put my Bloodhound's Fang back on. Rune. There's an enemy over here going to do a dismount heavy. Knock him way back. That was awesome. Oh, he dropped some stuff. Strip of white flesh and some smoldering butterflies. There's going to be some more land octopuses over here. I'm not going to fight them. I guess the proper word would be octopi. As I said, we're basically just sweeping this coastline. Pick up this item right here. And I'm going to kind of hug this cliffside here because there's a cave that we want. We're not going to do the dungeon quite yet because there's some other stuff we want to do first. I'm going to go on and get the Site of Grace inside of here, though, so that way when we're done exploring the coastline, we can just warp in here. We'll talk to him in just a little bit. Okay, so over here we have our friendly neighborhood merchant. Pick up the smoldering butterflies. And he sells poison bostules. These take away poison buildup. These do the same thing, but for blood, and these do the same thing, but for sleep. So I'm going to buy the Armor's Cookbook Tier 2. These allow you to craft fire arrows. I'm also going to pick up these 2 notes, Land Squirts and Stone Digger Trolls. So I'm going to show them to you so you can read them without having to buy them. All right. Land squirts are soft where they touch the ground and poison will cause them to rupture. So land squirts, they're a type of enemy. I usually just run right by them, but they're a poison-based enemy, but they're so poisonous that if you hit them with poison, that they actually get overwhelmed by their own poison and they just blow up. Stone Digger Trolls, the heads of the Stone Digger Trolls bear old wounds, kind of alluding to their weak point. And there's one item we're going to pick up all the way down here at the end of the beach. A gold pickled foul foot. These guys are going to keep me from warping back. I don't appreciate that one bit. So you must die so I can warp. Okay, so we're going to warp back here to the Coastal Cave, and this is going to be our next dungeon to go through. This one's actually relatively short. So I'm going to rest on up, get a level, take my endurance up. So this guy, this is Bach. He was the guy who was, we first met him like over here. He was disguised as a bush.
What are you doing here? You must leave this place at once. They'll rush in and beat you to a pulp. You'll end up just like me.
Okay. So nothing else we can do with him right now. But we're going to come back to him. Make sure you got a torch handy. This place is pretty dark. Bunch of these guys in here. All right. Got the falchion. Curved sword. You can summon a guy here. This is a boss fight coming up. Generally, if you summon an NPC, some of them are good, some of them not so much. But if you summon an NPC, it will... I didn't need to do that, dang it. If you summon an NPC, it actually increases the boss's health pool. So let's see. There are extra enemies in here. The boss is going to come out in just a sec, but I'm going to try to take some of these extra guys out with my bow before the boss spawns. So there's actually, the boss is 2 bosses, but we're fighting him at a fairly upgraded state relative to when I think the game intends you to fight this guy, so it's actually quite nice. We're doing a lot of damage. And if you go too far down, the second one's going to start attacking you, so I suggest fighting these guys 1v1 if possible. I'm going to Bloodhound finesse him. Go, got the first one. Got to top off health. And as I said, the second one's not going to aggro to you unless you go a little bit further down. There's the second one. You see him down there. I'm going to start shooting his friends. He's going to get all hot and bothered by it and come after me. All right. So time to switch to the sword. Wait for his attack. They have a kind of an erratic movement pattern, but as you can see, my second shot of my Bloodhound's finesse keeps missing because they keep moving. But that's all good. I'll get him right here. All right. That's it for them. Got the tailoring tools and the sewing needle. See some of his minions are around here. Now they're all scared. They want nothing to do with me now that I killed their... Oh, he's a little bit aggressive, but that's okay. All right, so you can use this to warp out of here. I suggest not doing that because The point of this cave is to take us somewhere else. So do not warp out at that spot after the boss. And finally, we have arrived. So we started over there. There was the entrance to the cave. Now we are here on this island. So a nice little secret. Only way to get here is by taking that cave. Got some wildlife up in here. And we have ourselves a Site of Grace. So I'm going to rest on up. Don't think I have enough for a level. So what we can do here, the Church of Dragon Communion, is that dragon heart that we got from killing the dragon. We can actually exchange that for a spell. So these spells require both, the dragon spells require both faith and arcane. We have neither the faith nor the arcane, but if any of these suit your fancy, you can get them. None of these three are going to be spells that are required for the Platinum Trophy. There's actually a different Dragon Cathedral that we're going to get to later on in the game that does have a spell that's required for the Platinum Trophy, but none of these are. You can pick one up if you'd like with your Dragon Heart, but we're going to be getting plenty of those later on in the game, and we'll be all set. But if any of these suit your fancy, go ahead and pick them up. I'm not really interested, so I'm not going to get any of them. But there's a couple other things we can do here before we leave. So you mount your horse, climb up these ruins. Some fancy footwork. Far to the east, you'll find the Cathedral of Dragon. So that's what it's referencing. That's the other one that you can get to that has more spells that you trade in for you trade Dragon Hearts in for. Let's see. There's a thingamajig over here. So that's what we're going to focus on because that's the one that has the spell that's required for the Platinum Trophy because it's a legendary spell. So in here, in these bushes, we have great Dragonfly head. And there's some stuff down on the beach we can get. There's a Scarab that hopefully I won't mess up. There we go. Somber Smithing Stone, Tier 1 from him. Turtleneck meat. Go. Over here, we have a Smithing Stone 2. So some of you may have been wondering, you know, at the very beginning of the game, we saw this tree sentinel dude mounted on his horse, and we ran right by him. Some of you might be wondering, okay, when are we going to finally kill the tree sentinel? That time is now. So I'm going to kill him mounted on horseback. What I suggest doing is making some of these roa raisins. They require roa fruit to craft, and we've been picking that up all across the game so far. So we have plenty of materials to craft, quite a bit of them. What these do is they replenish your horse's HP. So I mentioned in the dragon fight that your horse has his own HP bar. You don't want that to get all the way down because he will die, and then to revive him, you're gonna have to use one of your crimson flasks. So you can use these while mounted on horseback to keep your horse's HP in check. What I like to do is I like to put these on my pouch on my left slot. So here we have our raisins. Put these on my left slot so I can use them in a pinch, so I don't have to fumble through my my items down here to heal my horse. So anyway, it is time to engage the Tree Sentinel. And if this fight is still too hard for you, one of the beauties of this game is if you run into something that you can't do, just come back later. That's all you got to do is come back later. So I'm gonna run up to him and get a charged heavy on him just to start the fight, and he's He's all mad now. So what I do is I like to attack to my right side. What I do is I like to bait his attacks. So just make sure I kind of run around in a circle. Bait his attack, run in, get a hit, then rinse and repeat. He does have some pretty powerful attacks, though, so you do have to be a bit careful. And if you don't get the timing right, so bait his attack. If you don't get the timing right, then I have no problem with skipping a pass and then coming back later in the next opportunity that I get. You just want to make sure that you have a good opening. If you get hit, it's not the end of the world. He's not going to one-shot you anymore. He does take quite a few hits to get down still at this point in the game. So I got a little bit greedy there, but I got away with it. Stab attack. Generally, it's a good idea to try to hit the horse's backside. That kind of keeps you pseudo out of his attack radius. He does do attacks with his shield. If you're a caster, the shield that he uses, if you're trying to use magic on him, the shield that he uses can actually reflect magic. So just be careful about that. Ooh, so he actually staggered me off my horse. That can be really dangerous if he staggers you off your horse, because when you're on the ground like that, you're open to critical damage. I'm going to heal up. And actually, your Crimson Tears Flask does heal your horse's HP bar as well. All right, just kind of need to regroup here. Don't not screw this up. Ooh. So that shot just hurt my horse. It didn't hurt me. So I'm going to feed him some raisins and get his HP bar back up. Oh, geez. That was a shot. All right. These rocks are messing with me. I want the flatter terrain to be fighting him in. There we go. We're going to fight him over here again. Kind of let that get away from us. That shield bash is pretty deadly. Let's see. There we go. Getting close. And as you can see, this is still a challenging fight. And we've done quite a bit of leveling up and getting stronger. This is still a challenging fight. As I said, if he is still giving you trouble, don't... Oh, jeez. Don't get bent out of shape about it. Just come back later. I might have to come back later if I fail here. This is coming down to the wire. I'm going to fight him back over here again. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh. That was disastrous. Well, I think this is my first true death in this run. I died once at the beginning, to the tutorial boss that you're supposed to die to. And then I died once to show you how the rune recovery works on purpose. But I think this is like my first actual death by accident. It was bound to happen. It's all good. Rip deathless run. It's all good, though. Come back over here. Oof. That was horse damage. I'm going to summon my wolves. Ow! He's going to kill him quickly, though. Free hits, though. Oh, geez, I'm still taking massive shots. Only got one of the horses left. All right, goodbye. There's one of my wolves left. Oh, geez. I got stuck on the tree. Fortunately, that shot just hurt my horse. Oh my gosh. I'm out of health. Ah, the tree's killing me. That was a really dumb move. I got greedy there. Okay, I'm going to give him one more try. Oh, this guy. Ugh. And I've got so much to do in this episode, and this guy's giving me trouble. This guy should not be giving me this much trouble. All right. You are mine. You will comply. Yeah, stamina there. Oh yes, I got a stagger on him. And the bleed. And he just shield bashed me into oblivion. Alright, come on, buddy. There we go. Good riddance. For our trouble, measly 3,200 runes, and the golden halberd, which is actually quite a good weapon. Okay. Sorry that took so long, guys. That was not my finest performance. But it is all good. Sometimes it happens. It just happens, and not much you can do about it. Let's see. So where we're headed now is to this bridge. And then we're going to head over here. There's a graveyard with a bunch of runes that we want, of course.
Hello? Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant to the True Order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, you've come to lend me your aid, have you? Well, that's very kind, but no, the help is very much appreciated, even from a tarnished. Despite appearances, nobility is no prerequisite to serving the True Order. You might have heard of me, Kenneth Height. Next in line is the rightful ruler of Limgrave, young Tarnished. I would have a boon of you. I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool, and plumb mad to boot. Simply obsessed with blood. What are you waiting for? A kiss goodbye? My fort lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. Take it back for me. Oh, I see. You wish to know the reward. Fret not. The great Kenneth Height is known for his considerable largesse. The celebrations will be lavish indeed upon the dawn of my fort's retrieval. Yes, now allow me to furnish you with a little advice. I would take great care to avoid Godric's tarnished hunts were I in your shoes. That depraved lot are obsessed with sacrificing tarnished like you for the sake of grafting. Honestly, Godric's nothing more than a jumped-up country bumpkin. Lord? Oh, don't make me laugh. First, he hid himself amongst the womenfolk to flee the capital, then hid from Radahn in that castle. Then he insulted Melania, lost to her in battle, only to lick her boots rather than die like a man. Has he no shame, the big girl's blouse? And to think, he's the blood of Godfrey, last of the golden lineage, though you almost wouldn't know it to look at him. Yeah, I almost feel sorry for the chap the more I think of it. What are you waiting for, my
Okay, so he actually has a side quest. It's not, you know, an important side quest in terms of getting platinum or anything like that, or you know, progressing the game. You can actually kill him and he drops a golden seed if you want, but I will be doing his side quest, so I'm not going to be killing him. All right, so over here is the graveyard, and as you should know by now, graveyards equals runes. So that's a 6, a golden rune 6. I think that's the highest one we've gotten so far. And on here, we got the Fever's Cookbook 1, which I believe allows you to craft sleep items. Sleep is a status effect that, well, as you would guess, put your enemies to sleep, and they can't move. All right, so next we are headed over here, which is another church, and this one is particularly important. I'm gonna grab this item, got some magic grease, not gonna deal with these guys. There's a Crimson Scarab. Don't really need him because we're about to get to a Site of Grace anyways and level up. There's another troll if you want to kill him for the runes. So, Third Church of Marika. So over here, I think this is the first one we've gotten in this playthrough, is the Sacred Tier. We can use that to upgrade our flask. It doesn't give us another usage, but what it does is it increases the potency of each usage, which each usage will heal more of our percentage of health than it did before. So this is the Flask of Wondrous Physic. This is very important. You can find crystal tears at the bases of minor Erd trees and elsewhere throughout the lands between. At Sites of Grace, you can mix 2 crystal tears in the Flask of Wondrous Physic. This will allow you to create elixirs with various custom effects. So this flask automatically replenishes every time you rest at a Site of Grace. And you can concoct like your own kind of potion. We're going to get more options as we go throughout the game. We're going to get more of, I guess, the crystal tears or whatever they're called that allow us to, you know, put different effects inside of this flask. But for now, you see what we have access to. This restores half of your HP whenever you use it. This and temporarily boosts your stamina. This temporarily boosts your strength. This will enhance your charged attacks for a period of time. So you can choose 2. And then whenever you consume that flask, it's going to give you these boosts. So for now, I'm going to put the stamina and the strength in there. And this will be good to use, like in boss fights, for example, to take a swig. You can only use it once every time you rest at a Site of Grace. But it'll give you a little bit of a boost. So down here, there is an item that we're going to get down on the beach. There's a couple of crabs along the way. I don't think we fought a crab yet, so I might demonstrate how to fight a crab. There's the one right here. I'm going to stay away from that because there's one guarding the item that we want. So as long as he doesn't follow us all the way over here. Yeah, there you go. Good boy. So we're going to fight this one. Generally, I like to be right in front of them. He's going to swing his arms at you. You can dodge his attacks and just hit him right in the face. So when he does that slam attack, just do a roll, keep hitting him, and he is dead. Some of them are a bit more powerful than that. I think we're a bit over-leveled for this area by now, so that's why he seems so easy. So we got the strip of white flesh. That's the crafting material, so we're going to go on and warp back to the church. If you caught there on the map, we are actually close to that spot that D marked on our map. We are going to go there. But first, we're going to hit this spot up. And then, well, actually, first we're going to hit... I want to clear these away. So they're numbered in sequence. We want to hit this spot up. There's a scarab for a Ash of War. We're going to hit this spot up. And then there's a graveyard over here. And so that's kind of be how we go about this section. And then, of course, well, I need a mark here. We're going to go to that. So first things first, kind of right ahead of us, there's going to be a scarab in this vicinity. I hear it. There he is. Okay. Sacred Blade, Ash of War. So this is a giant fight between bears and wolves. All we want is our smithing stone. And there's a couple lilies over here. And then we're going to get out of here because we don't want any part of this. We can let them have at it. So we're going to need to use this spirit spring jump, I think they're called. Get up here. This to our graveyard. There's a bunch of wolves over here. So the way to get over to the graveyard, I think there's probably a different way you're supposed to drop down, but you can like jump over here. Missed it. I might have to go the long way around. We'll see if I can get this little shortcut, if I can pull it off. There we go. So I think the way that you're supposed to go is like you can be up here on this cliff. This is near where Summon Water Village was, and then you can drop down right here. But we got ourselves some more runes. Come on, pick it up. I don't see why it's ghosted out. There we go. Got a 5. Lots of good rune items we picked up. We got a 6, a 5, and then I think we got another 4 this episode. So pretty good, pretty solid stuff. That's it for here, it looks like. So I'm going to warp back to the church here. And we're going to go right there to that sending gate. And that's going to take us to my favorite place in the whole game. Caelid. And by favorite place, I mean probably least favorite place. But it's just creepy. I don't know. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Caelid just gives... Yeah, I don't know what it is. Caelid just kind of makes me feel uneasy. All right, so here we are right outside of what's called the Beastial Sanctum. So, turn around. There's this guy. Don't fight him. He will crush you at this point in the game. He is way, 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 way powerful. I would not recommend fighting him at all. All right, we're going to light up this Site of Grace, and then we have another NPC. So if you're wondering what to do with your death roots, we've got 2 of them so far. This is the guy that you give them to. and he gives you stuff in return.
I smell it. Death. Feed it me. Tarnished. Bring more deaths. I shall grant thee eye and claw. Feed me more.
Okay, so we get the Bestial Sling, which is a spell. The Clawmark Seal, which will allow us to cast incantations. And the Beast Eye, which whenever we're near a death root, you'll get like a message because we have the Beast Eye. It'll say something along the lines of like the Beast Eye quivers or something like that. And that indicates that we're near another death root. So we have that as a key item. So the seal, the Clawmark Seal, it represents Gerank's Wrath, enhances bestial incantations, but it says it's a rare trinket which allows incantations to be scaled with strength. It actually does require 10 faith to use. I think we have 8 or 9 faith, so we're going to have to level up our faith a couple times to use it. The reason why I want it equipped, though, I'm going to put my torch on my 3rd slot, is because we did buy the Urgent Heal incantation, and this will allow us to use that incantation once we have the requisite faith to use that seal that we have. I'd recommend spending literally everything you have right now, because what we're about to do is a little bit treacherous. There's some platforming that we're going to have to do that's a bit risky, and if you fall to your death, your runes might be stuck in a place that you can't get back to them. So I would recommend spending everything you have right now. I need 4,500 to level up. So I need an extra 1,200. I think that's roughly what a level 4 rune is going to give me. Let's see. Yes. So I do have enough to level up now with a little bit of extra, but that's fine. Take my HP up. I got 400 left. If I lose these permanently because I fall to my death, I'm okay with that. So this is tricky, but there's stuff down here. It is very, very, very difficult to do. It requires some tricky platforming. I mean, it's not that hard. Oh, I'm heavy load here, so I'm gonna need to do another level up to endurance. Sorceries and incantations. You can memorize sorceries and incantations at Sight of Grace. Finally gave me this tutorial. You have to have a staff equipped to cast sorceries or a sacred seal equipped to cast incantations. They consume FP. Okay. Yeah, I think I got that tutorial because I finally equipped the seal. Yeah, there are these miniature guys over here that like to cause problems. They actually hit really hard. This area is meant to be for like much higher level players. Yeah, see, look at that. I almost got one shot by this dude. Fortunately, they stagger really easy, so I should be able to kill him. They do actually give you a lot of runes. But as you can see, yes, they are really powerful. Have a lot of HP. And they give you like 1,000 some odd runes. So, unfortunately, that is going to be at risk for me. So right here, you see that tree root sticking out right below us? That's where we need to drop down. And yes, this is incredibly tricky. You have to be really careful. And this root sticking out is the next place you want to drop to. So you just want to slide on off. I'm too far over. Dang it. Oh, well. As I said, this is a tricky platforming spot. All right, so like I said, this is tough to do, which is why I recommended spending all your runes, because these runes may or may not be in a place where you can actually reclaim them. We're going to find out. But I kind of debated on whether or not to do this part because it is a pain. Then I was like, nope, it's a walkthrough. Like, I got to show how to get this stuff. As annoying as it can be. Okay, fortunately my rune's right here. Easy to get back. Not too shabby. I gotta just walk off at the right spot. So this looks to the best of my judgment. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. The next spot you want to drop down to is that kind of domey little roof-looking thing. You just want to step off this branch, fall right down on that. And then next, you're going to want to drop onto this and on down to here. So if you look right below you, there's like a teeny tiny little ledge. If you scoot off right here at this corner, you should fall right down on it. You will take some fall damage, but that's okay. Here is where I like to... Oh, geez. These bats are more powerful than the ones that we're accustomed to fighting because, as I said, this is meant to be a higher level area. So what I'm going to do here, you see that bat over there. He's going to be a pain. I'm going to lock onto him. I'm actually going to use my Mighty Shot ability. So I'm going to hold L2 and then fire these more powerful arrows because otherwise it would take a lot of arrows to kill that thing. So there we go. Success. All right, so I'm going to mount Torrent here. Make this jump over here. Then we're going to need to drop right on down here. We might take a little bit of fall damage, but it's not going to kill us. Okay, no fall damage. Perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, these guys are easier to fight on horseback. We just got some Rune Fragments and Sanctuary Stones. Not really what we're after in particular, but I'll run down here and get the crafting stuff just because we're down here. Might as well. If you do a heavy attack, it can stagger them in one hit. The bats. So we got soft cotton. The soft cotton reduces your, actually negates your fall damage as long as it's not a fall that'll kill you. So if it's a fall that'll kill you anyway, it's still going to kill you. But if it's fall that you just take a little bit of damage from, the soft cotton actually negates that damage. So pretty good. We're going to be using that in actually just a second here. Charge heavy. Get that stagger. Okay, so now we got to drop down to the next kind of tier. I don't think there's an ideal spot to do it. Like, all of these little pillars are all the same. So I'm just going to drop here. Oh, gosh. This is probably the worst place to do it. Not all of these have a bat on them, but... okay. So right there, what I'm looking at is like a little ledge you can drop down to. I don't think you want to make this fall all the way down. You want to sort of drop down here, which is halfway. And this is where I'm going to put on my soft cotton. Use this. This will soften the fall all the way down here. Oh, are you kidding me? There's a trick I should have did. You can throw a, what is it called? I don't think I have any of them. I can craft some, though. These things, rainbow stones, and it'll tell you if it's a fall that'll kill you or not. So this episode is not going quite as smoothly as I would like for it to be, but, you know, there's some tough stuff we're trying to tackle here. And it just is what it is. This is totally optional. If you don't want to do this, there's really nothing like earth-shattering that we're even going to get. But, you know, I want to show you all the things I can show you. As difficult as some of it may be. Okay. I'm not going to fight the one that's back behind this pillar. I don't need to. Be extra careful not to fall. Okay, I'm going to jump onto this one. I still should have some of that soft cotton left. Crap. I think I can jump over here. All right, I'm gonna do a rainbow stone to see if this is a lethal. If it shatters at the bottom, it's lethal. Oh, snap. Maybe if I jump onto those rocks, those are slightly higher up. I've done this before, and I don't recall it being this tricky. I'm kind of stuck right here. There's really nowhere else to go except for like that, which that's only slightly lower. Well, I've done this before. This is frustrating. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna put the soft cotton back on it. It might just be like you have to be extremely careful to not just to like shimmy off the edge like as parallel to the ground as you can. Come on, go, 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 go. And there we go. Okay, so that's how you have to do it. It's like you can't go deep, because I think if you go too far down, that's a lethal fall. But if you like shimmy off as parallel to the ground as possible, then that's a soft enough fall to survive. Just barely. I mean, they made that like razor thin. But that's honestly what you have to do to get down here. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like, I know I've come down here before. That's not a question. I know I've done it before, so. So this is the Cinquadia. I don't know how to say that. This is a dagger. And it has a, let's see. Causes blood loss. Oh, no. It doesn't have any passive effects. But it does have the quick step ability, which is quite nice. We're going to be using the quick step ability in some places later on in the game. It will come in handy at certain points. But I think most daggers have the quick step ability. Not all daggers, but most daggers do. All right. Also down here, we have the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman, which this is a talisman that increases your defense for physical damage. And really, that's all that we have down here. Those are the main things. They made that really hard to get to. And quite frankly, the only way to get back is to warp. So there's nowhere to go from here except to warp. And my poor runes are over there. So, oh well. It is what it is at this point. That's why I said spend your runes. What we're going to do is we're going to ride right past this guy. Do not stop. Do not fight him. Please. Just don't. He will kill you in probably one hit. And you will kill him in probably 100 hits. So let's see. We're going to get this golden seed, and then we're going to head over here. There's a, whatchamacallit? What are those things called? The start, like the shards that replenish your FP. Go. Then we got, oh, I can't see the map. So I got to get back to the path because there's a site of grace off the main path. There it is. There's the path. And there's this site of grace. gonna rest at it. And then there's a scarab over yonder that actually drops a tier 9 somber smithing stone. So we're gonna go ahead and get that. While we're here. There he is. He's got a lot of HP, though, compared to the other scarabs that we've hit so far. Just FYI, he's going to take a lot of hits. Come on. Oh, no. Get back here. There we go. Somber Stone, Somber Smithing Stone, tier 9. We can't even use that yet, but we have one for when we need it. Okay, so I'm going to rest on here to reset the enemies, and then we are going to warp back to our happy place. And by happy place, I mean Fort Height. Because you remember Kenneth Height? This is his fort. He asked us to liberate it for him, so we will do that. And this is our last kind of like main thing that we're going to be doing in Limgrave before we progress to the next area. All right. Oopsies. Just run past this. There's going to be some dudes. A pumpkin head. These guys, though, are going to be much lower level than we're kind of accustomed to fighting, so they're going to go down pretty easy, fortunately. You could technically do this earlier, but I didn't want to do it until after I talked to Kenneth. So, whoops. The pumpkin head has joined the fight. Oh my gosh. Getting headbutt to death here. Do a Bloodhound's finesse. There we go. Okay. Someone dropped a shiny. So Fort Height is a good spot for blood roses. If you're in need of them. Some rats, and then some folks throwing fire pots at us. It's all good. Loot. These are exploding barrels, so just be mindful of that. Oh, geez. All right, so in here we get the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 6. This teaches us how to make blood items, so we can make blood grease now. I think blood arrows. So very good, very good. Dudes just don't stop. I got this guy. Really, there's no point in killing him now, but he's there. This guy. Smithing stone. I didn't want to fight him here. I want to fight him back up here, where there's more room. He drops an Ash of War. And I'm going to heal up. And I'm going to Bloodhound finesse him. Here we go. Got his Art of War. Or Ash of War, I should say. Blood Rose times 5. And last but not least, we're going to climb up this here ladder. open up. And we get the Dectus Medallion left. So it is half of a medallion that we're going to use later on in the game. So we have the left side of the medallion. Brandishing the medallion with both halves conjoined will activate the Grand Lift of Dectus, connecting the Altus Plateau to Liurnia. We haven't been to either of those spots yet, but it'll make more sense when we get there. So that is it for Fort Height. So we are going to report back to Mr. Kenneth and let him know he can return safely. Because we are so nice.
I've been waiting for you with bated breath. Did you manage to recapture my fort? Oh, excellent news. Just wonderful. And the knight's dead to boot. Well done, my friend. Well done indeed. I knew I was right to trust you. Now, here's your reward, as promised. Go ahead. It's all yours.
All right, so we get the Erdsteel Dagger.
Right then. Time for I've much to do. First, I'll have to re-establish communication with the demi-humans. What's that look? You don't believe me? Well, under the Erd Tree, commingling with the demi-humans is made possible. Even the vulgar shall not be left behind under the rule of true order. Which is why I, Kenneth Height, next in line as the rightful ruler of Limgrave, have sworn to uphold it. Just you watch, my friend. Just you watch. Ah, yes. I've been meaning to ask, would you like to enter my service? I see bright things in your future, stout warrior. Enter into my service and learn the workings of the Erd Tree's true order. And who knows, perhaps sometime down the line, the grace of gold will return to those tarnished eyes of yours. What say you? A fine accord, is it not?
All right, we will pledge our service.
Very well indeed. I knew I saw something in you. I shall await you at my fort. We shall hold a ceremony for your knighting there, I think. I see great things ahead of us. We are truly by the Erd Tree blessed. Right then, I've much to do.
Okay. So he is going to head back to his fort, so we're going to talk to him there. There are now demi-humans there, and unfortunately they are not friendly to us, despite Mr. Kenneth trying to reconnect with them. So he's up here, we can talk to him. So, some of these guys are going to follow us, so we're going to have to get rid of them so we can actually have our conversation in peace. Their pathing is not the best. There we go. I think that should be good enough.
Ah, you, is it? I suppose you must have seen it by now, yes. The sorry state of my fort? Oh, indeed, it is a foul fate for a land to be without a ruler. One must be found, with haste, and not that awful Godric, but a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave. I'm sorry to have lifted your hopes, but I haven't the authority to raise you to knighthood as things stand. The great Kenneth Height issues his sincerest apology. But now, I must begin my search post-haste for a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave. I must begin for a true...
Okay, so that's where things are left for now. So, I am going to warp here to Agheel Lake South. And then in the next episode, we are going to head down here to the Southern Peninsula. And that's where we're going to pick things up. So I told you this would be a bit of a longer episode, and it has been. Thanks to especially a couple of missteps, but that's okay. Missteps are going to happen in this game. That is just a fact. Doesn't matter how many times you played this thing. It's never completely predictable, unfortunately. But it is what it is, and we are here and alive to tell the tale. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found this video useful. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Really appreciate all of you guys and all your support. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody.